flaming sun getting to me.
Pace yourself. Virginia signed all of that.
You ain't lying. It's work for a mule.
You had shook. Miss is coming. Dang, he's coming. Keep working. Please, honey.
No, I can't. There ain't no point.
Yes, there is.
What's wrong, huh? Feeling tired?
No, mister.
We're talking to you, Missy. You. Boy. You tired?
No, mister. Just don't feel like working today, that's all.
What'd you say? My hair is boy. Look me in the eye now.
No, mister. I ain't tired. I ain't never tired.
Is that right? Nah, you must be tired. You must have done lost your mind if we kept who you're talking to.
Yes, mister. I know who I'm talking to, but he ain't got much more to take from me.
What? You mean them Jones? Oh, it's been 2 weeks since I saw them Jones. You best get over it.
Oh, he just thirsty, mister. You sure a hot day after all.
You got some dad? Want to do my job for me?
No, sir. Just trying to stop the fight.
Stop the fighting! What the hell makes you think you got the right to stop the fighting?
Papa? Why don't I got the right to?
Elizabeth, what are you doing right here? You know don't lie out here.
But the fields are pretty. I don't want to be stuck inside with Mama all day.
It's dangerous out here, sweetie. You go back to the house. I'll be inside myself. You, girl, take Elizabeth back to the house. Don't send word to her.
Yes, sir. You never let me do what I want.
Now get Elizabeth. I'll be watching you, boy. Y'all get back to work.
Why, Gabriel? What's wrong?
Gennaro, you know what's wrong. They took our children away from us. Sold our children like some kind of meat.
I knows what they did to us.
Well, you sure don't act like you
I
don't know.
heard air day just like you. But you got to keep your head.
I can't, Gina. I done. There ain't no hope for us in this world where they can just sell us away.
It'll get better, huh? It's gotta.
Our children was born until this, now they gotta live it somewhere else. What make you think change coming?
Cuz I've been praying.
It's not enough.
It's more than enough. You'll see.
Well, I'm tired of waiting, Gina. God ain't gonna never come and help us.
Good thing I prayed up with both of us. Now, Joseph did a brave thing for you. Thank you.
It just went for you. It's for the rest of the party. I'm sorry. Damn, I gotta get out of here.
Who in the hell are you?
Whatever you running from, we can't help. Now go on and get before you get all of
Stop
us.
that. When you get that good, he's hurt.
I'm fine. I just got separated from my regiment. Up over that hill. We got hit by some sharpshooters and I just ran. You got separated from what? My regiment. My group that I fight with.
Fighting? What for?
The Southern Rebellion. You guys don't know what's going on?
Oh, we know what's going on. We wake up, we work, and we go back to sleep.
And we pray something change.
Nothing we.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But it has. Just last week, the president announced the freedom of all the slaves in America. In this war, I'm fighting for your freedom.
I don't believe it. I mean, you see what you beat Negroes in the field and you tease them with freedom.
Listen to how he talk and how he look. Tell you from around here.
No, sir. My parents are from Pennsylvania, just north of here. I was born there, I'm not lying.
We'll hope he ain't to tell the truth. Supposing he ain't, how come we ain't free yet? And the president says we's free.
Virginia won't follow the proclamation. But once we win, and we will win, you'll all be as free as I am.
And what makes you so sure you's gonna be?
Because we got to. I was born free. But my parents were slaves too. They made me promise as a boy that I would help somehow. Honestly, I don't understand how y'all feel every day. But my mom and papa told me about slaves. Waking up and getting beaten and berated for all the work that you do. And I hated it. Things were still hard for me up north. At least I learned how to read and write, and now I'm a black man in uniform. I get to fight for what I believe in, what I think is right. So many of these Confederates fight for the wrong reasons. Because of that, they can't win. Just know it.
Well, pray for that.
And I do every day. And I know that if I keep praying and fighting and hoping, that soon this war will be over. It's God's will. But if you give up now and stop hoping, regardless of which side wins, you lost.
How much longer we gotta pray for something happen? How many more people we gotta lose?
Our children were sold away. Could they be free too?
Our regiment has been liberating some slaves as we move south. What are their names?
Nathaniel and Anne, you see them?
I'm sorry, I haven't. But I'll look for them. I'll tell them that the Mount and Pop are okay in fighting.
Thank you.
I'll go check on him, Pa.
You just gotta go. If you catch it, he'll kick.
Sometimes it is hard to keep hope, even when I am fighting. When that happens, I just look to God, myself, and this. Keep it close. Don't ever lose hope.
What you got to be happy about?
Nothing, mister.
You're darn right you ain't got nothing. You don't want any trouble from my Pa now, do you? Keep working.
Over my head, I see freedom in the air. Over my head, I see freedom in the air. Over my head, I see freedom in the air. There must be a God somewhere.
I, Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States, by virtue of the power in me vested as Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States in times of actual armed rebellion against the authority and government of the United States, and as a fit and necessary war measure for suppressing said rebellion, do order and designate as the states and parts of states wherein the people thereof respectively are this day in rebellion against the United States. The following to wit: Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. By virtue of the power and for the purpose aforesaid, I do order and declare that all persons held as slaves within said designated states and parts of states are, and henceforward shall be free, and that the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authorities thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of said persons. And upon this act, sincerely believed to be an act of justice, warranted by the Constitution, upon military necessity, I invoke the considerate judgment of mankind, and the gracious favor of Almighty God. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand, and caused the seal of the United States to be affixed. Done. at the city of Washington, this first day of January, in the year of our Lord 1863, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 87th.
Hannah, Becky, why did you drag me here? I want to go home.
Lord, child, you can't sit still for a second. Come on now, let's go.
Excuse me, ma'am. Have you seen the necklace? It's got a cross on it.
No, not around here. Tommy, you seen anything?
Well, thanks anyway. Come on, Annie.
I thought we were here to see Dr. King. Not everybody to around on the Washington Mall.
No, let's go home. We already went to the store. Mama and Papa will want us home. You'll get in trouble. You'll get in trouble if you don't go back.
Oh, child, I'm already in trouble. Come on now, it's time.
It's time to go home.
All that this accomplishes is intensifying the friction between the races. These protests, although peaceful in technicality, are inciting violence and hatred, and are only digging us deeper into that hellish pit of hatred. Change cannot be found through civil disobedience, but through patience and obedience. Your actions are unwise at this time.
It is time to
It's
act.
not time at all, sir.
When you think it'd be a good time? When it's convenient for everyone else? When our great-grandchildren are right in the same condition we're in?
We could go about this in an entirely different way. Do you think this is right in the eyes of God? Drawing attention to ourselves in this wild and violent manner is neither responsible nor sensible.
It's a peaceful protest.
Right. There's nothing wrong with peaceful protest.
These extreme ways could possibly end in a very violent outcome that could end up hurting others.
Look around. Who is violent to you?
If you took these issues up with peaceful negotiations in the court of
We
law,
have
then
tried
you would say that-
negotiations and we have been refused. We have nothing left to do but demonstrate. Because despite what they think of us, we will never see violence as an option. What better way to prove our point than peaceful marching? Surely even a child can see that.
See what?
Surely even this child can't understand you and your methods.
What?
Well, obviously, this child wouldn't understand.
Excuse me? Because of the color of his skin? Isn't the point of all this to gain equal rights for all races? And here you are, allowing his background to define his character.
I'm not saying that he can't fight for our struggle.
Just that he doesn't understand.
That's enough. Leave this child alone. Come on, Tommy. Let's stand somewhere else. Let's get a spot closer to the Lincoln Memorial.
I'm not doing this to hurt my dad.
What's he need? That is colorblind. He can't help what you feel. Oh, your love.
I just wish he wasn't afraid to be around me.
He's not afraid of you. But your dad gets afraid. Afraid of people that don't look like him. Afraid of that deep spiritual connection you found.
My dad doesn't understand that I have a right to love whoever I want, whether he allows it or not. That's why I had to leave home to come here. I have to stand up for what's right.
The country's changing, Lizzie. It'll get better. It's gotta.
I just hope love is enough to make it change.
It's more than enough. You'll see.
Whoa, man. What's a little guy like you doing out here by yourself? You okay?
I'm okay. What are you guys doing here?
What is anyone doing here? We're here to follow the path set by the ever-flowing river, to travel where the wind blows.
We are all here to ensure that we are treated fairly, to stop the fight. I'm Joey, this is Gigi, and that's Lizzie. And this bright spirit here is Willow. What's your name, little man?
My name's Tommy.
Nice to meet you, Tommy. Why are you here?
Yeah, man. What's your purpose? Tell us your way.
Well, my Nana Becky made me come here. We were just supposed to go to the store, and I bet we're gonna get in trouble. And I don't want to be in this crowded place.
Sometimes even little guys like you have to fight the power for what is right.
Yeah.
Being at such an important event like this is, well, important. You really open your eyes up to the way that human society gets together and changes things.
But what needs changing? I like my life the way it is.
Listen, Tommy, because this is something you need to understand. You see, not all people get along and are nice to each other. Sometimes
People just fight.
People are nice to me.
Well, it's not the same for everyone else. People like me, who look different than you, aren't treated very nicely.
Why?
Sometimes, when people are different, they're mean to one another. People like Joey look different, so they aren't allowed to do the same things as you.
Like, play the guitar?
What? Oh no, he just doesn't know how to play the guitar.
Well, I don't know how to play the guitar because I couldn't find any music schools that allowed Negroes.
I didn't know that.
It's true. I only know one chord.
Here.
That sounds sad.
It is time. And that's why we're here. So that people like Joey will be able to get guitar lessons, or drink at the same water fountains, or go to the same restaurant as you and me. Mother Earth doesn't discriminate. Everyone should be treated the same.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Tommy! There you are, Tommy! I've been looking all over for you. What's going on here?
Nana, why can't you go to elementary school?
Well, there are places that don't want us folk mixing with white folk. They don't always get along.
You need along.
I know, child, I know. That's why I don't want to lose you out here. So don't wander off no more.
I don't need a babysitter.
Over my head, I see three.
Hey, have y'all seen the necklace? I'm sorry to bother you, but I really hate to lose it for good.
Sorry, haven't seen it. I wish you the best of luck in finding it, though.
Are you absolutely sure?
Does it really matter, man?
You really learn to let go of those material things. Thanks anyway, man.
Did you look on the ground?
Yes, Annie.
Did you look in your pocket?
Yes, Annie.
Did you look under that nice shady?
Annie, this is serious.
I don't understand why this is so important to you. The only reason we're here is because you said you thought Dad thought we should come, and I'm not even sure about that.
Dad gave up his home for this cause, and he's behind bars for this cause. Why would he not want us to be here?
Dad tried to change things years ago. Look around. They're still fighting. Protests are still going on. Nothing's changed. Dad's in jail for nothing.
What Dad did wasn't for nothing, Annie. I think you know that. Dad was involved in these protests for us, so that we could lead better lives. Can't we at least give him credit for that?
Fine, he worked hard for us, but he's in jail. He really wants to end up the same way.
Nothing we're doing here is illegal. Years ago, it would have been, but we have made progress. And now, all these cops can do is sit around and watch.
Okay, so maybe they're not arresting people left and right, but they're not exactly jumping for joy at the idea of equal rights either. All we're doing is making them mad.
We're showing them who all is behind this and what they're willing to do to get there. Think about what Dad was willing to do. To get what we want, we need to be willing to do the same thing.
I just want them back.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? How about we go see Dad?
Okay, but I hate to show this to you without that.
Good point. Dad trusts me to take care of the things he loves, whether it's his daughter or that old prostitute.
Excuse me, but I found this and I kind of heard talking about.
Thank the Lord, this is it! He would have been lost in that crowd forever. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's my Nana Becky hugs me all the time.
Thanks for helping us. What's this for? I thought you wanted to wear it. Isn't that why you wanted to find it so bad?
It doesn't matter who wears it. Besides, it looks better on you anyway. I'm sure Dad would too.
Tommy! It's starting! I think I see someone over near the microphone. I can't believe.
I'm happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago, a great American, in whose symbolic shadow we stand today, wrote the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. This came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and still finds himself in exile in his own land. So we have come here today to dramatize the shameful condition. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to come together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of the skin, but by the content of the character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls and sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to heal out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. I have a dream today. And if America is to become a great nation, this must become true. Let freedom ring from the Stone Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the convention slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow our freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join together and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
And here we have the statue of Martin Luther King Jr. Does anyone remember when this man gave his famous I Have a Dream speech? Does anyone even remember when the March on Washington happened? Anyone? Come on, guys, we just talked about this less than 2 weeks ago.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
We are here in Washington, D.C. today because it is the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, which was, of course, an integral part of our nation's civil rights movement. There were more than 250,000 people in this very spot campaigning for the rights that we now have. As a society, we would not be where we are today if it wasn't for this man. Boys, shut it down. As I was saying, Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech here in 1963. It was one of the largest political rallies for civil rights in United States history. It is credited with the passing of the Civil Rights Act in 1964 and the Voting Rights Act. All right, I've heard enough out of the 3 of you. We can go back to class if you're not going to pay attention.
Guys, stop. I don't want to be stuck inside of school all day.
Oh, Miss G, oh, like that. Come on, we're just playing.
Clearly this heat is getting to you.
This is boring. If I wanted to learn about some March, I could just Google it.
You guys do realize that you all would not be going to the same school if it wasn't for this man's influence. Before the Jim Crow laws were overruled, blacks and whites were separated everywhere. In schools, in restaurants, even water fountains.
Yeah, but that was like 50 years ago.
Very good, Jeremy, 50 years ago. Finally, someone's paying attention.
I just made up a random number, Miss G. And that's exactly why it doesn't matter. Because it was that long ago.
Jeremy, do you know that you and Liz would not be together if you lived back when the march took place? You could go to jail for so much as touching her.
Yeah, I would.
I didn't know that.
Look, it doesn't matter, okay? We're alive now. Not back then. So who cares what happened?
My dad cares. That's why you can't come over to my house. My dad doesn't understand that I have a right to love whoever I want, whether he allows it or not.
Yeah, and if he can't stop us from dating, besides, it's all junk from the past. We should just move on, Miss G.
I really hope you don't believe that, Jeremy. This man, this movement was a major turning point in our history. He helped our country change for the better.
Don't worry about him, Miss G. He's just, well, ignorant. He needs to hush it. He doesn't know what he's talking
Shut
about.
up, Becca. I'm not ignorant.
Yeah, you kind of are.
You got a problem? Guys, let's stop all the fighting.
You can butt in, Joe.
Hey, what else, Jeremy? Nobody wants to fight you.
Boys in here, boys.
Hey.
All right! That's more than enough. We're moving on to Malik Monument now. I wanted you guys to see this because along with being the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, it is the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. Liz, what do you know about the Emancipation Proclamation?
Isn't that this speech that only lasted 2 minutes or something?
That's the Gettysburg Address.
Come on, Liz, we just talked about this in class. That's why I set up this whole field trip in the first place. I know you know this.
I know what it is, Miss G.
That's great, Becca, but I'm sure Liz knows too.
I don't remember, Miss G. Can you please just let Becca answer? She's obviously dying to tell you.
Tom, do you know?
What? Oh, sorry. Is it time to go home?
No! It's not I was asking if you could tell everyone about the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah, wasn't that 2-minute speech or something?
No, Tom, we just went over this. Please, pay attention. Becca, I'm putting you in charge of keeping up with Tom for the rest of the day.
Oh, babysitter.
Does anyone decide to go home?
The Emancipation Proclamation freed all the slaves in the Confederate territory.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, me too, I did that too.
Then why didn't you say that in the first place?
Well, maybe they didn't want to.
Well,
No, not
maybe you
everyone's
should have
brainiacs
said
like
If you're going to continue to talk over me and not respect our history, we can just move on.
Fine, let's go. It's not like learning about the past will do anything for us anyways.
Excuse me, sir, but I'm afraid you're mistaken. I was actually here 50 years ago during the march, so I know firsthand how different life would be if Dr. King here hadn't taken a stand. My family fought right along with me, working for the equality we now have.
Wow. You see, class? I'm sorry, what's your name?
Tom.
My name is Annie.
Well, thank you, Miss Annie. Is there anything else you can tell us about the march?
Well, there's not much more to say other than thousands of people here, from every race and position of life, fighting for the cause, for what was right.
Well, class, I hope that you've heard today has given you a new perspective on the importance of the Civil Rights Movement. Now, let's move on. Thank you again, Miss Annie.
come on, let's get a spot closer to the Lincoln Memorial.
Hey, what was it you were saying?
What?
What did you say? About none of it mattering?
Oh, just that it doesn't matter anymore. It's not relevant. Everyone's just all caught up in the past.
Was that your history teacher?
Yeah, I should probably be getting back to my class.
Why were you talking to her like that?
Because, look, I should really be getting back to her.
I don't think she'll mind you holding back for a second, son.
Look, I don't know you, okay?
Why do you think she brought your class today? So you can talk back and disrespect what brought you so far?
Why are you even here? So you can ask people random questions?
I always visit around this time, since August 28, 1963.
It's great. That's
I was just like you, didn't understand why any of it mattered. My brother made me go to the march. I was only about 12.
wow. You must be old.
Have you no manners at all? I swear, if you had spent one day in a world where everything
I'm
was
sure it would be great, okay?
It wouldn't be. Those were dangerous times. My parents fought for your rights and were arrested. All I had was my brother. Now I just want him back. died not long after the march. Died so people like you and me could be treated as equally as everybody else. And here you are using those rights to smack talk and disrespect.
And I appreciate it.
Young man! Go back to your class. Just remember, sometimes to get what we want, we have to be willing to fight like he did.
You dropped your necklace.
Just keep it. Maybe it'll help you as much as it did me.
Thanks. My grandma used to sing that to me.
Did she really? Did you ever listen to the words?
I mean, it's just a lullaby.
It's more than just a lullaby. You should listen closer next time you hear it.
Over my head.